This is the Rich Dad Radio Show. The good news and bad news about money. Here's Robert Kiyosaki.
Hello. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show, the good news and bad news about money. And we're broadcasting today from downtown, Old Town, Scottsdale, Arizona, in the heart of the Party District. And today we have a very important program for you. It's about the number one skill of an entrepreneur. And the reason this program is important is because, as you may have noticed, as we're going into a recession, and I suspect unemployment's going to scream. I see more people here in Arizona standing on street corners and all this saying, veteran, please give me a buck or something like this. And I just can't believe they're wasting their time begging for money. And this guy was a pretty young guy standing on the corner begging. And it's not good. So we're heading back, I think, into the 1920s. Very good chance we're in the middle of a drought right now. This is a 90-year cycle in bad weather. So the economy is in very serious shape. So today we have two very special guests. It's Christina Ann Sweney, and she calls herself an independent market partner. And we have Franco Lofranco, and he's a founder of a large direct sales organization. And I think it's interesting that they use those terms rather than what I grew up as. It was called network marketing. And network marketing got such a bad name over the years. But I think it's a very valuable, the network marketing industry does a fabulous job teaching people to be entrepreneurs, because our school system teaches us to be employees, but we really do need to be more and more in sales. And the reason I'm sensitive to it is my poor dad, who has a PhD, he hated salesmen. And so I grew up him always speaking badly about salesmen. And his idea of success in life was get another college degree. And he died poor. And but he couldn't sell. And then my rich dad, who was my best friend's father, when I got out of the Marine Corps and my poor dad wanted me to go fly for the airlines, I said, I'm done flying. He says, well, go back to school, get your PhD. I said, I'll wind up like you, poor, helpless, and desperate, PhD. So I said to my rich dad, who was my best friend's father, I said, I want to be an entrepreneur like you, because he was raising me since I was 10. And he says, well, then you better learn how to sell. And I went, and so that's when the two fathers clashed. Well, they clashed a lot while I was growing up. But I had such a negative impression of selling, because my whole family hated salespeople. And so I begged my rich dad, I said, oh, please, there's got to be another way. How can I be an entrepreneur without learning how to sell? He says, you can't do it. It's the number one skill of an entrepreneur. I just couldn't believe what he was saying to me. So finally, out of desperation, I was begging my rich dad, and my poor dad said, I told you, get your PhD, get your master's, get your PhD, fly for the airlines. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be an employee like him. And then so finally I asked my rich dad, is there a way, what's going on? He goes, look, how's your sex life, Robert? And I said, it's terrible. He says, because you can't sell. What do you think? So with that, I was getting out of the Marine Corps station in Kaneohe, Hawaii, the Marine Corps Air Station in Hawaii. And I applied to two companies, IBM and Xerox. And IBM had a great sales training program, and Xerox had a great sales training program. When I met the IBM recruiter, he turned me off. He was so boring. And I met the Xerox sales guys, and they were drunk and yelling and screaming, having a good time. I said, I think I'm going to join Xerox. And so with that, they sent me to sales school in Leesburg, Virginia. And then they gave me a little handy-dandy little briefcase. And it says, hit the street and cold call. That was one of the most painful experiences of my life, going around, hi, Xerox, get the hell out of here, you son of a bitch. I got too many. And as I learned quite early, salesmanship begins when the customer says no. The last thing about this is this: when I met Kim, she said no for 6 months. But if I hadn't learned how to sell, I'd never got to Kim. But I was persistent, because I think the number one skill of an entrepreneur, and when I find people who are poor or struggling or financially in trouble, is because they can't sell. And the thing they're most afraid of is rejection. And so they just want everybody to say yes to them and be liked and nice, but it traps people. So it's the number one skill of an entrepreneur. That's why, Donald Trump and I, the only two guys, this is before he ran for president, we're the only two guys that endorse network marketing or direct sales, what do you want to call it? We endorse it because it's the number one skill of an entrepreneur. And Trump is a pretty good salesman. And my best friend, when I met at Xerox in 1974, he just sold his business for $2 billion. And he doesn't have a college degree, but he can sell. He says, I'm a Mormon missionary. Mormon missionaries can sell. And when you think about it, so when I meet people who are poor or struggling or financially trapped in a job they hate, it's because they can't sell. So that's why Rich Dad and Donald Trump, and my Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump endorse network marketing and things like this. We have two books that we promote. Here's The Business of the 21st Century. And the other one here is The Business School for people who like helping people. And especially as the economy deteriorates, this is October 2022, we're in serious trouble financially, sports fans. We have the most incompetent president I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, that guy is a puppet for the Green New Deal greenies and liberals and all that stuff. And you can vote for Biden again if you like. It's a free country. But if you lose your job, he can't save you because he's actually doing a lot to destroy the economy. So we have two guests today, Christina Ann Sweney, and she's an independent market partner, and Franco Lofranco, he's a founder of Direct Sales Organization. And I thank you for being on. And I thank you for being in a very vital industry of capitalism because, not too many guys are going to get hired by Xerox or IBM. But everybody can join a network marketing company. And the good thing is you can't get fired from network marketing. I almost got fired several times at Xerox because I couldn't sell, And so anyway, that's why Donald Trump and people hate the guy, I know that, but he can sell. I mean, you have to be able to sell to build high-rises in New York City and fight the unions. He's got to be a tough guy rather than that crime syndicate called the Biden family. Jesus Christ, they make money the old-fashioned way. It's called corruption. So at least Donald takes the unions on head on. So Christina Ann and Franco, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show.
Pleasure to be on, Robert.
Yes. So let's start with Christina. How did you get into, the direct sales and all this?
So a little backstory on me. I did the traditional route and I got my bachelor's degree in fashion design and merchandising and realized I wasn't going to make the type of money that I wanted. And I started cocktailing while I was going to school and I saw the money coming in from cocktailing and I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's like, now go to Vegas. Move to Vegas and work in Vegas and you'll really see what money is. So I moved across the country from Michigan to Las Vegas and started cocktailing. That was absolutely mind-blowing to me because I was able to work 3 to 4 days a week, 8 months out of the year and make 6 figures with doing basically nothing but selling. So my background in cocktailing set me up to transfer into network marketing perfectly. But while I was cocktailing in Vegas, over time, you start to realize you have a shelf life. There is going to come a point in time where there is a younger, prettier batch of girls that are coming in to take your job from you.
God bless those younger, prettier women too. Anyway, you look spectacular.
Right? Hey, well, thank you.
Christina Ann, you're hot. So I don't think you have to worry. But anyway.
I mean, when they see that your age is clicking up though, even when you're going in, because you have to audition every single year for your job. Just because you have a position at a day club or a nightclub in Las Vegas, you don't get to stay there. You have to stand in line for like 12 hours with 5,000 other girls that are going for the same job as you. And you stand there in a bikini, full hair and makeup, and high heels to be in front of a panel for 2 minutes to pray that they're going to choose you to work at their venue so that you can make that money. So this was something consistently every single year I had to go through auditions every single year. And I was like, okay, the younger girls are coming in. I see that girl next to me there. I see that girl next to me there. I need to potentially pivot. So what did I think of? I was like, you know what? What's something? I have my degree. It's not doing much for me. I'm used to a certain lifestyle, right? I'm making 6 figures being a female. And I'm like, I don't need a guy to take care of me. I'm capable of taking care of myself because I'm making the money that I'm making. What is something I can do? So I decided maybe I should go into real estate, which is cliche for cocktail waitresses. It really is. Once your expiration date hits, every single one of those girls, especially in Vegas, they're going straight to go get their real estate license to sell some real estate. So I was like, let me do this. So I started the whole process of getting my real estate license. And then I realized I'm doing this backwards. I should have gotten my real estate license when I started cocktailing. So I could have been doing both side by side. So I was like, okay, maybe real estate really isn't the thing for me, because I'm going to have to build an entire new network. And by getting my real estate license, yes, it could potentially be big money, but I could potentially be waiting 6 months, a year, 2 years before I get those big paychecks. I was like, okay, let me see if there's something else. So people had been coming to me with several different network marketing companies time after time after time. And I was like, okay, maybe this is something I should give a chance. So I dove in. I'm someone who, like, I will do my due diligence. I will research something until I know it better than probably the person that's talking to me. So I did my due diligence, looked at a few different networking marketing companies, and I fell in love with the network company that I fell in with. And everything about it, between the compensation plan, the products, the community, the lifestyle that I saw the girls living. And I was like, you know what? You guys are very similar to me, of like how you like to live your life, how you like to travel. And that's the thing I liked too. When I did cocktail, yes, I did make good money, but I didn't have freedom either. When you go and you put in a request off for a weekend, that's what it is. It's a request. It doesn't mean you for sure get it off. So network marketing also gave me the ability to, like, create my own schedule. I can be in Miami working and making an income and impacting other people, like, that are on my team, by helping them make an income as well. Plus, like you stated earlier, times are tough. Times are getting really tough for people. With inflation going up, people can't afford their general daily, monthly bills because they're having to make decisions. Am I going to put gas in my car, or am I going to be able to feed my family? So what I love about network marketing so much is the fact that if you're in this to make an extra $200, $500, maybe even $1,000 a month, this is perfect for you. If it's going to just, fix the little cracks and, like, fill in the cracks of, like, what you're missing right now, it's perfect for you. But if you're a go-getter and, like me, and you're like, I just want to work for myself, I want to have my freedom, and I want to make the income that I want to make with impacting as many lives as possible. Like, I love the fact that I've been able to bring people on and change some people's lives, drastically change their lives, for them to see, wait, there's more than working a 9-to-5 job. There's more out there where I can have a better life and not just be working to pay taxes and die.
Well, thank you for that. By the way, what is the name of that company you work with? I don't mind.
I work with Monat. So Monat is a vegan-friendly, anti-aging hair care, skincare, and wellness company. And why I loved it was because it's a product that everyone uses. Everyone washes their hair. So getting someone in a sales tactic to be like, hey, try this product. I'm asking you to take a product you already use daily and switch it out for my companies instead. So it's been an easier transition as to getting customers. And this company has been only open for 8 years. We have over $3 billion in revenue in 8 years, and we've opened in 9 countries already.
All right.
We have over 80 millionaires already with our company as well, too, which most network marketing companies, some of them specifically, the older ones, will not list how many millionaires they have because of the way they're structured. So because the way certain companies were structured in the past, it gave network marketing a bad rep.
Right. So thank you for that. And I'm thank you for being on the Rich Dad Radio Show. And Mr. Franco Lofranco, I'm glad I met you with John Lang, right?
Great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. Great gentleman. Yeah. It's great to have. The older I get, the more I appreciate friendships.
Right.
Because, they're just, you realize as you get older, that's what really matters is your family, your friends. And John's one of those guys that I'm just appreciative that we're getting to be friends with, together.
Yeah. So how did you get into, let's say, direct sales, network marketing? What company do you work with? Or do you work with several companies? Or what's your background?
I'd be happy to tell you. I started, I came from the B quadrant. That's where I started my life. And your book was actually what influenced me to do that back in the 90s.
Thank you.
And I started one of Canada's first internet high-speed companies and raised a bunch of money, built a great network. Except the problem was, Robert, your book didn't explain to me exactly how much hard work it is to build a traditional business and all the stress I was going to endure and lose all my hair. You didn't tell me that. So, Christina, I wish I could use your product, but I can't. I don't have any hair. So the problem for me was, it's like, wow, let's go. I wish I'd be on help. But I'm grateful that I went through that experience because it taught me there's good businesses to be in and then bad businesses to be in. Right. There's businesses that pay you residual income and those that you have to work really hard. And if you stop working, so I learned that. So when I was introduced to the company I'm with, which is ACN, which is Essential Services, we do gas, internet, electricity, those things like that. I got excited because I saw an opportunity where I can get into the biggest industries in the world and earn residual income on those bills. But what traditional business did teach me, which is to your point, which is what's important, is selling. Because selling is important. If you can't sell, you can't survive. And it's not just selling an opportunity, it's selling yourself. Like, who are you? How do you show up? I had a mentor who once taught me, he goes, either you're enrolling people to work with you or you're repelling them not to work with you. And so there's no in between. So it's like, are you enrolling people because of what you look like, because of how you speak, because of how you smell, because of how you talk, because of what you're saying, or are you pushing people away? So for me, when I saw direct sales, to Christina's point, she made a great point, which is about what kind of lifestyle do you want? And I didn't want the lifestyle of employees and the overhead and the stresses that came along with that. What I saw was an opportunity where, hey, I can build an organization of people. Right. I can acquire customers and make residual income and take all that sales training and apply it. And we can apply it and teach people. And that's, to me, what excites me today is how many people can we teach?
Yeah, and that's why I wrote this book here, The Business School. It says for people who like helping people. If you sincerely don't
I got all your books here.
Oh, God bless you. I'll send you your residual check. Thank you. No,
it's must reading for our team. Our team is must reading.
Thank you. And the reason is, if you don't really want to help somebody, then you may as well just go to school. It's all about you, And I think I'll say it, is that you call it residual income. The reason I like real estate is I get what I call passive income, forever. It's my property. I don't ever sell. I just stop. But the other thing I noticed was that even at Xerox, they flew me to Leesburg, Virginia, first class. I'm just getting out of the Marine Corps. Again, my poor dad is going, you should go back to get a college degree. And you're going to be a salesman? You're going to be a salesman? Oh, my God. He was so anti the academic elite because he's a PhD. And the academic elite, as you know, they're a bunch of weirdos today. They're the ones screwing up the whole economy, in my opinion. They're Marxists. I'm a U.S. Marine. And the other one's the business school for the 21st century, because it really is about networks. When you look at why blockchain works and why Bitcoin works, is they build networks. But if you go to school, you get a job, you're just a cog in the wheel. But the thing I want to say is this: I nearly got fired so many times from Xerox, just like, it's a good thing I didn't stand in my high heel shoes and a bikini, because I've been fired immediately. But it's not a pretty sight.
Oh my God, what a visual.
But anyway, it's that you take your, and they can't fire you. Do you know what I mean? You quit, right? So that's what I want to get into. Why do people quit when the going gets tough? That's not a U.S. Marine attitude. Do you know what I mean? When the going gets tough, you get smarter. But most people today are such, snowflakes. They should be TikTok dancers and all that stuff. Or they can make a lot of money doing TikTok or porno or whatever they want to do today. But, I love what you guys do, because you're pure capitalist and you build residual income that you can, keep you alive after retirement and all that. So before we we're going to have to go to a break, but I want you to think about the people that you did recruit in, but why they quit. You see, I think that's the biggest issue of all. Or the people that said, no, I don't like network marketing. Because that's when the rubber meets the road. Is, salesmanship begins when the customer says no. And if I stopped at every no I took, I'd never get anywhere. I mean, you look at, when the editors in New York, the book publishers, when Rich Dad Poor Dad came out in 1997, they said, "What do you know? What you're saying is not true. What do you mean savers are losers? What do you mean that your house is not an asset? What do you mean this? And they were just rejecting me. But thank God, I can sell, and today I'm still suck as a writer. I'll never win a Pulitzer Prize. I flunked out of high school twice because I can't write, and yet I could sell. So when I said to the publishers at some of the big publishing houses, I said, I know, but I'm going to be a best-selling author. Well, but you can't write. I said, yes, but I can sell. And so that's why Rich Dad Poor Dad, the first book, was sold at my friend's car wash in Austin, Texas. And it was sold to a medical doctor, Dr. Tom Burns. Dr. Tom Burns, and he was working with Amway. And he was a diamond, and he was still a medical doctor, an orthopedic surgeon. And he was in Amway selling because he wanted to help people. And if you only hear for yourself, it's a horrible business. But if you really want to help other people, and then you help yourself because you're going through your own self-esteem problems, all the rejection you take and all that, that's why people quit. And so if you're a quitter, start dancing on TikTok. We'll be right back.
Feeling powerless over current events and your financial future? Financial freedom is your freedom. Robert Kiyosaki is the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Over 40 million people have taken Robert's advice. Now it's your turn. Attend Robert's free virtual wealth building event. Claim your free access now at richdadfree.com. Don't wait, access is limited. Go to richdadfree.com. That's richdadfree.com.
Welcome back. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show, the good news and bad news about money. And as most of you know, the economy is in serious trouble right now. And I can't believe Fed Chairman Helicopter Ben Bernanke is awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics. And that Helicopter Ben caused the biggest bubbles in history, which are bursting right now, and they give him a Nobel Prize in Economics. Oh, my God. I'm not blaming him for the thing, but what is wrong with our country right now? Because when those bubbles come down, which they are coming down right now, especially in real estate, I was looking at the real estate stats, and thank God I bought my real estate years ago, and I have fixed interest rates and all those things, and I still have my passive income coming in. So today we have two guests, Christina Ann Sweney, and she's an independent market partner with Monat, and we have Franco Lofranco, who's the founder of a large direct sales organization. And he gets his income from the essential services, things you have to use every single day. And the reason Donald Trump and I endorse network marketing because it's the heart of capitalism. And when I find somebody who's struggling financially, it's simply because they can't sell. Or somebody is trapped in a dead-end job, it's because they can't sell. And sales equals income. Let me say it again. Sales equals income. And so that's why when I came back from Vietnam in 1974, I'll say it again, is I had to choose between going to get my PhD, like my poor dad, and I told him, no, I'm going to work for Xerox. And I had to apply for that job and all this. It was either IBM or Xerox. And it was the best thing I ever did. But I almost got fired all the time at Xerox because if you don't get your numbers up, you're out. So Donald Trump and I endorse network marketing because you can take as long as you want. Just keep showing up and keep plugging it away. And eventually you'll get there. But most people quit when the going gets tough. So I've asked Christina Ann and Franco Lofranco to explain why do people quit and what are they afraid of? So let's start with Christina Ann. Why do people quit? Or when you approach them, they go, no, I don't want to do anything like that. What do you think happens in them?
So I'll start with why people quit. I think people quit because they're not used to hearing no. We live in a society where everything is handed to most people now, right? You get a participation trophy for everything now, right? So they think that when they start a company like network marketing and they have to go sell something, that when somebody says no to them, they don't know what to do. They're almost stunned, right?
Yeah.
Hearing no is my favorite thing because I have learned over time, no does not mean no forever. No means no, not right now.
Or I don't know.
Right.
Or I don't know.
I have had so many people that like, because especially when you start in network marketing, one of the main things they want you to do is like reach out to your hot network, reach out to your warm network, reach out to your cold network, reach out to people. Like that's networking, right? So
that is one of the most important words in business. Not only the ability to sell is the number one skill, but you've got to build a network. You know,
exactly.
you look at what Bitcoin is a network. You know, franchise, Colonel Sanders is a network of franchises. It's the most important word there is, and people want a job instead of building a network. So please keep going on.
Of course. So when you're networking, like you're going to have to communicate with people and you're going to hear no's, especially from people that you know. But what I've learned over time being with this business is I've had so many people circle back to me because I'm either a customer base or even as like someone who's trying to join my team. They're wanting to become a customer because they're seeing the results of my hair. I'm a girl that wore hair extensions ever since I was 18 years old, especially competing against all those girls at auditions. I was in hair extensions galore all the time. I was paying thousands of dollars. My hair would not grow.
Hey, Franco, you need some hair extensions.
I need a wig.
So I was used to putting so much hair in my hair, like paying thousands of dollars for hair extensions. And I was like, I'm going to try this product and let's see. I mean, when people started seeing my hair growth and my hair looking fuller and thicker and healthier, people who had said no to me at the beginning because it was a network marketing product started reaching out to me. Let me try that product. Your skin looks so clear. Your hair looks so healthy. Let me try that product. Then when you're looking at people that I talked to about doing the business with me, and they were like, no, it's a pyramid scheme, which first thing, pyramid schemes are highly illegal. And pyramid schemes are promising you something and you getting nothing in return, which I'm selling you a product. I'm selling you a business for you to do. It's not a pyramid scheme.
No, you're building a business and you're getting skills. You're getting life essential capitalist, entrepreneur life skills.
Exactly.
Crucial.
So I'd have people come back to me and they'd see my success in this business. They'd see, wait, you can earn a paid for car? Well, yes, you can earn a Cadillac, a Jaguar, or a Range Rover with my business. You're earning paid for trips? Yeah, we're going to the Bahamas next week. Myself and my boyfriend fully paid for by my company. Wait, you can earn founder shares in different countries. You can sell to people in different countries. Wait, let me hear about this now. And then people that had said no to me at the beginning are like, wait, can I join your team now, please? I'm like, absolutely. There's plenty of room at the table for everyone to come. And honestly, I truly found that like, I love helping people. So when a
person says no, what goes on and how do you respond?
So when a person first says no, I'll always ask, like, can I ask why? Like, is there a specific reason? Because I need to get to the root of it. So I have like my own little notebook of people that I've reached out to or I've spoken to, where if they're like, oh no, it sounds like a pyramid scheme. I don't like the business idea of it. It's not for me. They're in one notebook. The people that say, I don't have time, I put them in a different notebook. And so I keep track of everyone I talk to. And like, I put like the dates and everything. So when they come back to me and I'm like, oh, okay. So, and then I'm like trying to evaluate, what have I been doing differently that changed these people's minds? Either it took so long or it was like a very short amount of time for them to change their mind. And people are consistently.
So the key is you're persistent.
Yes, I'm very persistent.
Very, 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 very important entrepreneur skill.
Exactly.
And if you can't handle that, you shouldn't be in their business.
Exactly.
So let me go to Franco. Franco, what happens when people say no? what goes on with you, and why do you think they say no?
That's a great question. I think for every network marketing company, the results are the same. Most people quit. And I think the problem with getting rejection is not the rejection itself, is what people internalize the rejection to be. So they make it mean something about them. And that's why they don't want you to hear the word no, right? One of the trainings we do is we say, okay, tell me no. No, people need to hear the word no. A lot of people do everything and to manipulate the conversation to avoid the word no versus popping it and say, no, let's hear the word no and be okay with the word no. So the first step is just be okay with no. You'll be fine. You're not going to melt. You're not going to die. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to be great, because we have to separate their emotional attachment to themselves from what that word actually means, which means nothing. It just means not, like Christina did a great job saying, no, not now, or maybe later. But people internalize it and say, oh, it's horrible about me.
Yeah. And that's why, I was one of those guys saying no, too, until Amway invited me in to show me their training systems. I went, oh, my God, your personal development systems are spectacular. And again, you don't get fired. You just quit. But I was sticking around. I said, they studied books. They're constant, your whole industry is on studying capitalism, marketing, sales, but more self-esteem and personal development. So when I saw what Amway was doing, I changed my mind. I didn't get into the business because I was already multimillionaire at the time, but I began endorsing the whole industry. And Donald Trump and I written 2 books together, and we endorse it. But most people are like academic types, like my poor dad, PhD, poor, helpless, and desperate. They can't sell. This is a political campaign time right now, and you watch the candidates who will win. They can sell. They can get their ideas across. And the guys that'll lose, they're a bunch of wimps. They should be TikTok dancers. You know what I mean? They're just horrible people.
It's so true. And you know what? I also say this, Robert. Sometimes. Like we just launched a healthcare product that's saving people on average 50 to 70% of their healthcare, which is unprecedented. We're the first direct sales company to ever launch healthcare. It's a great product. It doesn't matter. If you can't sell and be okay with no, it's irrelevant what the product is and how great it is or what it does. You've got to be okay with that, and then understand that what they're saying has nothing to do with your emotional state. And to Christina's point, could you imagine if we taught sales in school? When they're a kid, could you imagine what kind of society we have? We have a strong society of fabulous people that have a good self-esteem. Right. They're okay to be strong. Could you imagine? Of course, people don't want that. But if that, just fixing that in grade school and teaching kids how to sell in grade school, what a world we would live in. It'd be phenomenal.
Right. And the Marxist academic types running our school system would lose power. But that's why they don't teach it, because they want you to be weak. They want you to be needy. Desperate. So, Christina Ann.
I want to change my first answer at the very beginning of what got me set up for network marketing. Being a Girl Scout is what set me up for network marketing. I was the highest cookie seller every single year. It was my goal.
Love those cookies.
Good for you. So I'll just say that this much too is my poor dad. Our whole family were anti-sales. My next door neighbor, this kid next to me, was selling seeds or something, and my father says, "Oh, look what they're doing to that poor kid. He has to go door to door selling seeds." This is the 50s, and they thought that was the most horrible thing you could do to a child, and that's why we're in trouble as a world today. We have the Biden crime family running the world. They make money the old-fashioned way, corruption. And, I can't believe what's happening to this country. So that's why I'm really glad you guys are part of this show. And, I encourage people, again, for network marketing, it was the education, the study, and the training. Do you know what I mean? To get over your fear of no. And I still hate no. I don't think anybody likes it. But if you don't get over it, the price is so high for the rest of your life and your kids' lives and their kids' lives. So, and the other thing too, with retirements going, I wrote a book called Who Stole My Pension? And with retirement disappearing left and right as the stock markets crash and the 401ks go down, I would encourage people to start looking at a network marketing business. Check them out. Exactly as Christina Ann says, you go look them, check them out, find out who the upline are, look at their training systems, and is it for you? So final words on that. What kind of training systems do you put out there, Christina Ann?
Oh, well, to add on to the nose, we've also actually done little challenges where it's like, okay, we'll be on a power hour call and I'll be like, okay, $500 for whoever can get the most no's in like this hour call, because it just pushes people to get out of their comfort zone,
Right.
and go and get those no's, right? And
Right.
most of them are surprised when they're like, wait, I just got like 5 new customers. I'm like, but you wouldn't have gotten them if you wouldn't have went and asked.
Right.
So it's interesting to see. And like, also like one of the most important things I think about network marketing, I used to be a person who did not believe in self-development. I was like, that's mumbo jumbo. Like, I don't need someone to tell me how to think or feel or what to do. Right. I was at a younger age. I've grown up over time. But I mean, my company alone last year brought in Ed Milet and Mel Robbins to speak to us. This year, they brought in Tony Robbins to speak to us. They spent their money to come and speak at our conventions, where you're empowering so many people and instilling such great information from people that
Right.
people pay thousands of dollars to go and see. This company wants to invest in us to make sure that we're the best people that we can be, not just as a sales force, but or like making them their money, right? But as human beings, like helping other human beings. And it's really what we need at this point in time in the world too. There's so much hate in this world that the community that's built in these kind of businesses, people don't understand until they're in it. Like, I have people in this business that will be my lifelong friends forever because of what this company brought for me.
Right. Thank you. And Franco Lofranco, what kind of training programs do you have for your people coming up through the network?
Sure. I'm going to brag a little bit. So the Direct Seller Association is the agency that governs all direct sales. And we consistently win best training system of all the companies. So I'm very proud of it. And it's really, the reason is because, it's not because of me. It's because of the 4 owners of the company that built the company. They're so committed. To Christina's point, a lot of people that get involved in our industry want to help people. That's what motivates them. Yeah. You can't build a volunteer army of people. Like when I had a company and I had an employee who didn't listen to me, I fire you. It was very simple. There's no firing here. So you got to learn how to build an organization through leadership, through inspiring, through motivating, which like Christina's done. And so our company's got an extensive training system, from events to books you recommend to training systems to, we got a whole thing from top to bottom. When somebody walks in from day one, what do you do? What's your first step? What's your second step? What's your third step? And just follow it step by step. And then it's our job as the uplines, as the teams, to keep them engaged while they overcome their own issues that they've got and facing negativity and their bad results until they get to where they got to get to.
So that's what when I opened my mind, finally went to look at an Amway event and all this, I found their trainers to be exemplary. I mean, just class acts.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn how to overcome your own fear, personal development, personal transformation, and take control of your life as a capitalist, not a socialist who goes to school like my poor dad, I was so impressed with their training systems. And so what I started suggesting to people, when you're interviewing the company, also interview the persons who do the training. Do you know what I mean? That's the person you want to meet. And if you get along with them, it's even better. I mean, it's okay if you don't like them, because they're going to put you through your paces anyway, because that's what you want, is you want to go through your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, because that's how growth comes, not from hiding. So anyway, I want to thank the two of you for being great role models for an industry that I support. And you're as capitalistic as they come. And remember, sales equals income. And when I meet somebody who has no income, as my rich dad said to me when I couldn't get a date, because you can't sell. So anyway, I think it's the number one skill of a human being too. Can you communicate and without robbing people like the crime syndicate of the Bidens, to get things legally. So thank you, Christina Ann, and thank you, Franco.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you.
And
Thank
we'll be
you
right
so
back
much.
we'll be right back for the final word. So thank you. Welcome back, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. And my thanks go to Christina Ann Sweney for her contribution to this program, and to Franco Lofranco. And because network marketing, or whatever you want to call it, direct sales, where their education like Rich Dad. Do you know what I mean? And you can't get fired from them, but you can quit. Whereas when I worked for Xerox, I could get fired anyway. The thing I liked about what Christina Ann was saying is that I want the job of whoever was judging the cocktail waitresses, going, holy mackerel, I missed my calling,
I was going to say, you were thinking, wait, I need a career switch.
Yeah, my mind went into the gutter immediately. But anyway, I'm so glad we got a chance to listen. Thank you everybody for listening to this program, because we're about education, capitalist education, not communist education, like our schools are teaching. So what'd you think there, Miss Sarah?
One of my favorite lessons that I have learned at Rich Dad is the lesson of work to learn, not to earn.
Right.
And I really feel like whatever you take out of, whatever money you might make at a network marketing or direct sales, that's not our message here. Our message is go in and learn all of those
Correct.
important skills, because those are so transferable. Think about, let's say you
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
Right.
And I loved that piece at the end. We talked, or I think Franco brought it up about teaching sales in school. If we taught kids confidence, how to overcome objections, how to, that's life-changing.
Take rejection.
And so many people I know who have joined a network marketing company or have done any sort of direct sales, they might go in that meek, quiet, lacking self-confidence person, and they always come out the other side a new person.
And I have the benefit of traveling the world, and they come up to me and they say, I'm network marketing and doing all this. And they're incredible people. They're dynamic, they're happy, they're moving, but again, it's like this book says here, for people who like helping people.
Right.
You just want to make money. I wouldn't recommend it.
Right.
It's too painful.
Right. And think about the economy that we're in. If you, and you want to start your own business, how much further along would you be in that raising capital venture if you had that skill set of a network marketer who won't take no for an answer? This was an important show at this time in our economy. And I hope people listen to it and at least consider, and we're not endorsing a network marketing company. No. It's that philosophy. It's that sales training. It's that self-confidence. It's that personal development that's so important. So very important show today. That's why Christina Ann Sweney says, go check it out. Yeah. When Dr. Tom Burns, he's a PhD, doctor. He's a, what do you call those? Podiatrist. No, he's a bone surgeon anyway. Oh. I am Joe Biden right now. Orthopedic surgeon. I asked, Tom, why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. I like helping people. And so I went in and I checked out his Amway and all this, the Yeager family and all that. They're stand-up people. I was so impressed. But exactly as Christina Ann said, you check them out. But the most important thing, you want to find out who's going to be your teacher inside that organization. And you find that. So when I started finding out who were the best teachers, of course, there are diamonds because they're really up there. But they're great teachers. I mean, it's fantastic. So like I said, the thing I liked about network marketing, you can't get fired, but you can quit. And that's the problem with most people. They're taught to quit. So I thank you all for listening to the Rich Dad Radio Show. Again, thank you to Christina Ann Sweney and Franco Lofranco. And may you all, consider joining one of these companies simply because our economy is in serious shape. I think unemployment is going to skyrocket. And it's about time you can, choose a different, future, a different path for your life and hang out with positive people who are making, who are going in the direction you want to go. So thank you for listening to the Rich Dad Radio Show.